Everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make delicious, fresh, healthy tilapia fish tacos. And basically right here what we have is all the ingredients for the salsa. As you can see, we have cilantro, which you will need about half of a bunch. 5 tomatoes on the vine. I quarter them and basically scoop all the guts out. So it's not too watery of a salsa. There's no extra seeds in there. It's nice and meaty and fresh. It's kind of hard to describe how it tastes, but it's really outstanding on these fish tacos. It's just really light and fresh and sweet and spicy all together. So you'll need that half a bunch of cilantro. I used 5 vine-on tomatoes, quartered and gutted. You'll obviously need a food processor to grind it all up. Half of a sweet onion. I guess you could use other kinds, but I prefer the sweet onions the best. Juice of 1 lime, 2 jalapeno peppers, seeds included, and about a half a cup of honey. And in addition to that, just going to put a dash, very tiny bit of ground cumin for kind of an earthy Mexican tone to it. So anyway, basically just going to show you all the ingredients here, and then I'm going to cut them up, put them in the bowl, grind them up, and then I'll get on the way to showing you how to make some fantastic, fresh, easy fish tacos. So stay tuned. Okay, since the food processor does a good job of grinding everything up, I do like to chop the cilantro very finely, just because sometimes there'll be big leaves and whatnot remaining if you don't do that. So I thought I'd throw that little tip in there as well. So okay, and with the jalapenos, what I like to do is just cut them parallel down the long way, and basically from there I just cut them up into reasonable sized chunks. You don't really need to worry about dicing these up too much, as they're pretty hardy, and the food processor will take care of most of that for you. If you like spicy salsa, which this is going to be, even though the honey really mildens that spice, if you don't like the spiciness of it, put less jalapeno in, or just take the seeds out, and that will certainly reduce the amount of spiciness. But it might be too sweet at that point if you don't put these in. So anyway, just wanted to give you a little tip there. Okay, this is the half a sweet onion. I like to chop it up, decent sized chunks. The food processor will usually take care of most of these unless they're really big chunks. So that being said, I'm going to add these to the rest of what I have going on here. And basically from here what we're going to do is then mix it up. Okay, so basically before you toss it in the food processor, I like to toss it all together. That way you're assured a nice even salsa when it comes out. Now this is actually a smaller recipe. This should make plenty of servings though for these tacos, and some additional chips and salsa for later. Basically, you just mix that up, and then I'll show you the next step here. Okay, as you can see, our food processor is full of good stuff at this point. I'm going to add a dash, mind you, of ground cumin. That's all you need, nothing more. In addition to that, I'm going to add the juice of a lime, and the honey. That's probably good. May have poured a little too much honey into the cup, so I won't use it all. Looks good though from here. So anyway, that being said, we will set up our food processor and turn it on, hopefully. Alright, technical difficulties, bear with me a moment. Okay, so the technical difficulties I was facing was in relation to putting the blade in the food processor. Don't forget to do that, otherwise you'll have a big mess on your hands, like I just did. So anyway, that being said, here's all the good stuff in the food processor. Get a couple of pulses to get it going. Looks like we're about done. Anyway, it's a little foamy on top, but as you can see, what you come out with is a beautiful colored green, red, and white salsa, almost like pico de gallo, but I can assure you it tastes about 1,000,000 times better. Once you're done grinding it up, you just put it in another bowl with a lid, preferably, and you can stick it in the refrigerator for a little while. And the longer you refrigerate it, actually, the better it tastes, because it allows all the flavors to kind of meld together and the honey to kind of negate the spiciness of the jalapenos. So if you can wait a while, great. If not the end of the world. It's still very tasty. So that being said, we're done with the salsa, and I'm going to show you how to make the delicious tilapia tacos next. So here are 2 fillets of tilapia that will be used in making the tacos. For the taco shells, I love using these El Milagro corn tortillas. One, because they're about 33 cents for a big fat pack, and 2, because they contain almost 0 nutritional value. You can see that 50 calories, and that's about it, because they're made with just corn, water, and lime, and they're very good. So anyway, I made some taco seasoning here, and this should definitely be enough. I'll put the recipe in the link under the description. It's an excellent taco seasoning. I got it off All Recipes. I cannot take credit for it. But anyway, it's super easy to make. Just a bunch of stuff mixed together and shake it up. And anyways, basically just cover both sides of the fish with this stuff. You don't need to put anything on it. Just cover it up. Both sides. I got fish fingers, but whatever. Cover up both sides. Nice and lightly. And then in a second, drop it in a frying pan with just a tiny bit of olive oil. And then you cook it all the way through. So I'll show you that in a second. Okay, our olive oil's smoking, just ready to be fried. Put a little bit in, not too much. And while you're cooking the fish, make sure to put heat up a smaller pan here, non-stick one, to drop your tortillas in. And then while you're cooking your fish, you can get all your tortillas ready so they're nice and fresh and hot when the fish is done. So I think the fish takes about, 3 or 4 minutes aside. You basically just have to eyeball it. Once you start seeing the white come all the way through the meat about halfway, then it's time to flip it. We're obviously not there yet. So as you can see, so it cooks real quick. It's not a very thick fish. I usually have thicker pieces, but you can see it start to get through here, and like I said, only a couple minutes aside. You don't want to overcook it too much. So anyway, when the fish is done, I will come back. As for these things, when they start to puff a little bit, that's when you want to flip them, and basically do that for, I would say, probably 3 tacos per person. So this will be 6 for us. Also, another thing I like to do with these burritos, or rather taco shells, is keep them nice and warm on a paper towel. And actually, right before we serve them, we're actually going to serve them on a paper towel because they do kind of get drippy. You don't have to, but I prefer to. That way, you know, they're nice and dry, and the taco shells won't break. I'll show you some ways to avoid that later with the salsa. Okay, so we flip it. This is what you want it to look like when you flip it over. Nice and done, basically. So we're going to cook this other side here for another, 3 or so minutes, and be ready to go. Okay, once both sides are done, it should just, I mean, really just break apart. I like to break it up into decent-sized taco pieces. You can shred it or do whatever you want with it, but I like to just break it up into manageable-sized taco pieces. And I'm not quite done with my shells yet, so I'm just going to turn the heat on to low and just let it kind of simmer there. It won't really burn or anything, but basically it's done. It took only about 6 minutes to cook. Okay, so just going to put the meat here in the tacos. Obviously even it out enough so there's enough for everybody. I guess I usually get bigger fish from the fish market. This is supermarket fish. So anyway, there you have that. Okay, here's our salsa. It's good to just kind of get as much juice off as possible. Just let it drip a little bit. You know, it's like lime juice and stuff, so it's not going to hurt it or anything. But put an ample amount on there, I would say. At least a good teaspoon, tablespoon, whatever you want to call it, size bit. Spread it around. And then in addition to that, we're going to put some freshly ground up queso fresco, which is not really cooperating. But, there you have it. You can also, put slices of lime there if you want to drench it in lime. It tastes pretty good with the tacos. But basically you have it, that's it. Like I said, when you use a little more fish, it's certainly a lot more meaty, and basically this is an extremely healthy meal, very low calories, very low fat, and it actually tastes really freaking good. So if you're making it at home, leave a comment, let me know how you liked it. Thanks for watching.